beautiful day. To have a beautiful day. GM. On this beautiful day. Good morning, 2 and 3. With Barocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30. And it's all on Road Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Rock Radio.
Yo. What up? Good morning, GM. Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. The sun is shining. In Montreal, Canada. And it is a special day today. Shout out to all the women out there. I'm seeing Camilla already in the chat on YouTube. I'm seeing Jen already in the chat on YouTube. We love y'all. Today is special. This is International Women's Day. And we have a packed stage. And when I say packed today, we have like 9 or 10. How are we going to fit? Yeah, we're going to fit right on spaces. Yeah, we are. 9 or 10 different guests that are going to be joining us over the next hour and a half. And they're all absolute bosses. I cannot wait. Some of my favorite artists, some of my favorite people in the space too. So I can't wait for today's special programming. My English is failing me again, right, guys? You guys always make fun of my English. Listen, it's tough speaking 5 languages, you know? Mando, we can't hear you.
Okay. Michael's muted.
Michael's just like talking like this.
I said I'm feeling really deficient in terms of hair today. Like OSF's hair is out of control. Farouk's hair is going to go down to like his ankles pretty soon.
You were going to say his ass.
And I had a haircut. I had a haircut this morning. I'm just looking. I'm just like, wow, Ovi is so hairy. Like,
oh my god, I love that. But today, I'm excited for today's show. It's gonna be super good. Obviously, got my co-host in the house, OSF Mando, both on Spaces and on video. For those of you who prefer to join the video, I'm already seeing a bunch of people join on the video. I want to see GMs in the chat right now on the video. You already know the drill. Also, at the bottom right of the Spaces, we're gonna start implementing that. I want to see some GMs. All right, I know I GM every day. My special GM today was to all the weirdos out there in the NFT space, per Joe Rogan. We are all a bunch of weirdos. But so, you know, if you're a weirdo, if you're here, you're a weirdo, but you're also early. And so, anyways. Today on the show, let me get did you say programming or program? What do you say? Oh my God, Rogue Radio account wildin'. I think Golden's having a good one today. But 1 GM equals 1 earlobe. So yes, embrace your weirdo. Today on the show, today, let me get the programming, not programmation. Like I was saying earlier, because we have, like I said, a packed stage.
Where did you even get the word programmation from?
In French. It's always the French that fucking fucks me up.
You're still muted, Michael, by the way.
I just said I have no idea what's going on in this show right now. It feels like Farouk's having a personal battle with himself over one word.
Yeah, honestly, I am. But the thing is, because you guys keep judging me on video now, so it's harder. You know. But it's okay. We love you. Anyways. So that's the show today. DGen's market report as usual. Crypto, NFTs, macro, and all that good stuff. Oh, Steph's already gone.
I lost him.
I'm dying. 3
minutes in. He's done.
Enough, guys.
That was funny. As usual, DJ's market report. We're going to be first joined by Miso Soup Queen. You already know that. Iona. I never know how to say it right, so you're going to have to teach me.
What did you say? Sorry? What?
Ovi keeps making fun of me, but I like Iona, but I think it's Iona. But anyways, we'll talk about this with the queen herself, who's joining us with Camilla to talk to us about the Mint for Change that Fair is putting together. I know we talked about it a couple of times, but today is the day where it's going down for International Women's Day. So you're going to quickly talk about that. Then, as usual, daily news, daily topics, yada, 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 all the way to our special guest of the day, which is the LACMA. Ladies and gentlemen, excited to talk with Lady Cactoid of Cactoid Labs, who's also bringing with her JenStark, Monica Rizzoli, Sarah Zucker, so that's the Sarah show, Emily, And IXLs. I mean, holy shit. Talk about Grail artists. You know, yesterday we were talking about like ranting and raving over like Claire Silver. We're talking about even more dope artists coming on the show today. So it's super, super exciting. And they're going to talk about what they're doing with the LACMA, which is a powerhouse show that asks pioneering artists to explore works from the museum's collection. You can already guess and start guessing what the code is going to be today for the rewards. I think I think it's pretty obvious, but it's not live yet. So don't.
Is it women?
No.
No.
No, it's not. That would be kind of a weird show. Weird code word. Camilla's killing me because she's both on stage and on YouTube shit posting. She just makes me laugh so much. Anyways. So as usual, this show is presented by Fair XYZ. Today is a public mint for Mint for Change. Collection kicks off at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right after the show ends, 40 plus female artists and allies collaborating for International Women's Day. And it's super cool. So by minting that, you'll be contributing towards ActionAid's efforts of abolishing global social injustice and gender inequality. So we're going to get to Iona and Camilla in a second here. But first, let's get right into it.
Daily Market Report. Brought to you by Rug Radio. Joseph, what's the word?
Why are you smiling, Mando?
I just find that because we don't have cutaways now, it's just so awkward, this period, right?
What do you mean we don't have cutaways?
But I think we need like an intro because otherwise me and Ovi just awkwardly stare at the camera. Like a video intro for this thing.
You have an intro. It's
intro for
yeah.
Cool. It has like
Otherwise, Ovi just looks so awkward while this is happening.
Oh, hold on. I'm confused.
That
you want?
Yeah,
you guys want
when you say the market report, like it comes up with a thing saying the market.
Yeah.
Me you guys.
We can definitely do a video wipe.
Okay. Well, you heard it from the producer. He's in the back end with us. He's right there. This is Jazz. So he's always back there with us. And so we're gonna. So all right. So you guys want to? Well, we're gonna turn this show into a whole like TV experience. That's already our goal. We've been talking about it for a while. We had meetings about it this week with Mando. Just so
Farouk is going to meet BitBoy. They're going to go hand in hand, finding it out over YouTube views.
By the way, you should meet your microphone, if anything, and stop speaking out of a soup can.
Is it still bad, or is it okay now?
It sounds like you're speaking out of like you're in a cave.
Do you use the microphone or do you just use?
I have a question. Do you actually use the mic?
There it is. You can see it. You can see it right there, right?
Is it connected?
How about now?
You guys, this is like.
Is it connected with the XLR cable?
It must be the full moon. Just so you guys know, the full moon is in Virgo, so you know I'm gonna be having quite a month. So.
I love the comments. Mike sounds horrible. At least you know it's not just us saying it.
Now we have YouTube judging us. So it's not just OSF and Ike. Oh my God. Line Trash in the general chat of Rug Radio's Operation channel made memes about you and the Lobes. I am absolutely dying. But I mean we can try again. But market report, Ovi, let's talk about it.
Right, back to the market report. So yesterday was a tough day for stocks. We closed down 1.6% on Powell's comments. Today we're up a little bit. We're up about 0.3% on stocks. Interest rates are really whipping around. You know, like we haven't seen as much volatility this year as we saw last year. But you know, I'm watching the 10-year. We went all the way up to like 4.08%. We rallied back to like 3.92%. Then we went up to like 4% yesterday. Then we're back to like 3.92%. So definitely a lot of whipping around in interest rates, which is interesting. And you know, again, like that thing that Mando posted over the weekend shows that the short interest on US Treasuries is the highest it's actually ever been. I actually find quite surprising that it is there with things the way they are now. But you know, when you have big positioning in any instrument or in any asset, it does cause for gappy price action and volatile movement. So maybe that's what we're seeing right there. In crypto, Bitcoin and ETH are holding up okay. Like Bitcoin is just above 22K, ETH is still around 1560. Altcoins are getting crushed a little bit here. Starting stuff looks like they're down 5 to 10%. Blur's 62 cents. Canto's at 31 cents. That's been a big move lower. Solana back below 20. That's at $19. So some big moves in terms of psychological big figure numbers and a lot of
Solana's down, I think, right? It's been the chain has been down. I remember I think I saw something from
10? No, that was a week.
I think that's a shit post. I think that's a shit post.
No, it is down. It is actually down.
It was last week they went down.
They have some recovery things so that you can do some transactions right now, but the chain's been down for
Solana down. There's no incidents reported today on Solana status.
So maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it's been fixed, but yeah.
Imagine having a network where you're down so much that you literally have a website which says if you're running or not. And if you go BT or Vodafone, it's our systems are all working.
They didn't need it, right? They just didn't need that.
Everything went downhill when DGods moved out. Announced that they're moving back. They're moving out. Blame Frank. It's a new meta, by the way. It's blame Frank. He's the main character now, so it's definitely Frank's fault. If you're a DGod holder, it's your fault. So that's under $20. I mean, damn, Polygon's still above $1. It's not looking that bad.
It has been ugly though, right? It has been ugly for most alts.
You said this weeks ago.
Yeah,
altcoins could have a bit of a.
Yeah, Amando's crackling the wood in the background again.
I love how you think about it exactly.
Give me Christmas vibes. I mean, it's still fucking Christmas out here. As I was snowing in London as well. Every person in the UK and their mother has posted on their Instagram stories this morning that it was snowing in London, and I was like, "That snow to you?" It was like a cover of.
It's like shit snow. It's like sleet, slush, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, we have that a lot over here. Okay, so that's the roundup, I guess. Here, quick question for you guys. I remember sending you some screenshots of what Powell was saying, which I guess, and you remember when I was saying that the Delta One, I guess, was reporting on some stuff, and he was saying some stuff from Powell, which sounded pretty bullish in general, but I don't know if you got time to see this. With Delta One yesterday, Walter Bloomberg, the guy that has all these updates coming on 24/7 about all the news and stuff, was saying Powell could be placed for stable coins with appropriate regulation, and then important for US to have a legal framework around digital activities. I wanted to point that out because that was, I guess, stuff that he said yesterday. I don't know what you thought about that in general, but clearly it didn't impact the market much.
I don't think people really. I thought when I read those headlines, my initial thought was wow, this is pretty bullish, but people seem to just not really care. So I guess he was he was saying obvious things, right? You need regulation, you need this, blah blah. So it's just but it's nice to see someone not just completely shit on it, I guess. So
he's the central bank. He's a central bank governor. He doesn't really have a say in any of this.
No.
That's really for Gary Gensler. There's obviously been a lot of attacks on stablecoins, it feels like, in the US, so maybe this is better rhetoric, but he's not really the person that decides.
Yeah, I guess it felt good for once to see something good to come out, at least some good words, rather than we need to shut it down and everything is a security aside from Bitcoin, like Gary Gensler was saying, and that's what his thoughts were. But anyways, okay, I guess that's about it. I mean, we're waiting on Friday, right, Ovi? That's the first numbers, and then we're waiting on FOMC, which is at the end of March. Which is following shortly after, I think March 21 and 22nd. So those are going to be the next kind of signals when it comes to macros, where we'll be able to ask Ovi about his favorite things and there's all his little numbers. But anyways, let's pass on to NFTs.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. So just a few pieces of news. Nothing really in terms of big sales or big price moves. I think in terms of the news around the main collections, you saw that the scores are now done for the second phase of the Bored Ape Sewer Pass game. So we should be moving to the summoning next week, which was kind of what they had implied, but that's now been confirmed. You saw Pudgy Penguins. It now looks likely that they are going to get some sort of a toy deal with Walmart. Am I right in saying that it's already been confirmed with Target, or is that not yet been confirmed?
I don't know what's been confirmed and unconfirmed. What's for sure is he posted a selfie. What was it, in Kansas City or some shit where Walmart is?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Oh, sorry, my bad. But I don't think there was anything that was like fully confirmed. I was on a Pudgy Penguin Space.
I think Kansas City is in Arkansas. Like it's like one of those weird things.
We're not really good at America, are we?
No, I think it's one of those really strange things where Kansas City
Where is Arkansas on the map? I genuinely don't know. There it is. There it is. So Arkansas is right there on the map. It's a state. And that's what Walmart is.
Oh, no, it's the other way around. Arkansas City is in Kansas.
Where is Kansas City? Kansas City.
I think Kansas City is in Kansas, but also Arkansas City is in Kansas too.
Golden said nobody knows what Arkansas is, and that's actually it's an actual true thing. Like he actually
that's where Bill Clinton's from, right?
And by the way, Wyoming doesn't exist. Have you ever met someone from Wyoming? So anyways,
anyway, that's where the Walmart headquarters is.
Yeah.
You posted a selfie. It looks like there'll be something there. I still am a little bit confused about. I remember a few months ago, and maybe we should get him on the show, but that he was building kind of the tools with which like the revenue for something like that could be given back to holders, or it was like a platform, right? I haven't really seen much on that or like that being rolled out. So I am, even though this could be like a big toy deal, how that really benefits holders other than expanding the IP, I'm not sure. But I saw he put out a tweet, I think yesterday, being like, if we don't win, our holders don't win, or something like that, which makes me imply that there may be some way that this is going to be streamed back. But that was definitely what they were building a few months back, right? So
yeah, right. The first 6 toys were from 6 holders of different Pudgy Penguins, if I'm not mistaken, from what I picked up from Luca on the show. And by the way, Kansas City is split between Kansas and Missouri, so we're not so illiterate. It's actually America being complicated. But so this is what it is. From my understanding, he's trying to build it first with like a few of them, so that he can then scale. That's definitely the goal behind it. I'm pretty bullish on everything he's doing. I was on the Spaces last night with PP and the crew agents and Moose. They have a show called Chillin', and I know PP sounds funny, but that's his name, so that's what we call him. And so they're like, dude, like when it comes to like pure IP, and I've been talking about this a lot on different podcasts and whatnot, like besides like Bored Apes, like we had that the ones that have actually made like quite some moves in the IP game in industry are Luca with Pudgies, and you have Azuki that's done really great IP plays so far and really good products. Actually, I have one of their products. Yeah, I was gifted in Paris. It's super nice. They made this Zippo for Azuki. Shout out to them who gifted me this, but it's super nice. But it's I'm pretty bullish on everything he's trying to achieve here with that. But yeah, it's definitely not out yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they were building it. I just didn't know if that was going to be before or after this, like these big toy deals, because clearly that can be quite a big thing. You've still seen strength in the recent Animoca PFP, Mochaverse still holding up around 2. Just decent volumes. I think there was some issues with the mint, so we're still not quite yet at 8,888, which is what the total size was going to be. But we're getting close to that. Other than that, like it has been relatively quiet, I think, overnight. I couldn't really see that much in terms of big volumes. Punks, the floor continues to migrate slightly higher. That's probably been the only real story. And coders, again, are now approaching 18 ETH. So those are the 2 ones which are kind of trending out of the major collections. But other than that, it's been relatively quiet from the.
I have a question for you. You had added punks into degens, no? Because I'm looking at it here. I don't see it. Or maybe because you have to add wrapped punks now for it to show.
Yeah. So the it is interesting. Yeah, I think it's because OpenSea has stopped collecting that data. I think the API for that has changed. We might need to change it. You see here the wrap volumes of punks on OpenSea, and now you don't see that anymore. So maybe it needs to be wrap punks.
Yeah. So the punks that are trading on Blur are obviously wrapped. So those are wrapped punks. It looks like the floor over here is 65.98. I saw a funny tweet saying that Franklin is now up to like 14 or 7 or whatever amount of punks it was at. He was up to a bunch of punks because it's like a farmer's paradise, right? I think you were talking about it that yesterday, how it's easier for them to farm it or something, or someone was saying because
I was saying it's because it's such a stable.
yeah.
You know, it is the stable coin. It's a good one to farm. And then there was one thing that I don't know if you saw, the 9gag group trademarked the word PFP.
I think they put a request to trademark. Not they didn't actually
It was an application. Yeah, it was an application. Yeah. I don't really know. Like, do you think that they should be able to trademark that?
I don't think it's going to go through, but I think it's great publicity because we're talking about it. Nick and Peel were talking about it this morning, and what I've learned from them last time when he was talking about, you know how they bid 999 ETH on the Mongrel key, and then it sold for 1,000. He was saying, look, we got all this free publicity and clout for $3 of gas to put this bid in, and look, it seems like it's again like he's just getting some free publicity, and everyone's going to talk about it. I don't think this goes through because I don't think you can like trademark like a word like that, if it's a word acronym, but we'll see. I mean, I'm no copyright attorney or trademark attorney. I'm sure there's a bunch of great ones in the audience right now. If someone wants to quickly come and request to speak and tell us how that goes by and how it works out, but I'm pretty sure that won't work. But again,
I hope not. And then we've seen like some. Obviously, after the Claire Silver announcement, there's been quite a lot of movement in AI art. A lot of the art by Van Arman and by Claire Silver has been on the move. I think if you go to the Genesis collection by Claire Silver, and this is the collection by Braindrops, this has been one of the first AI platforms. It's basically like the art blocks of AI. Like it did a bunch of different AI drops early on. I think it was 2021, but her Genesis collection, which is April 2022, that's moved a lot. I think that moved from
20 ETH at some point, right? Which one is it? I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. Genesis by Claire Silver.
In January,
23 ETH.
Yeah, so in January this had a floor price of 3.
I was looking at it at 1 ETH, and I was like, let me wait a week because you know how it works when it immediately something goes out, it usually does a little retracement where you get in, and I was like, let me just wait. And then it was at 4, and I was like, let me just wait because now I'm like,
well, I think that's what happens when the Louvre steps in, right? They really screw you there. But yeah, big move in that, and basically anything which is, I don't know, OG AI art is kind of on the move.
Yeah, the Podgans have been moving. I see Mooncat. Yeah, he's been grabbing those Podgans by Pindar. I mean, you're talking about Pindar. I mean, Pindar was at that same expo that, like, you know, where like Clash of Rings, it was the same thing last year. And we should have Pindar on again, honestly.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should. But
we'll be on with him because he's a little too smart for me. But
Robbie Barrett came back to NFTs. My God, like he would. Robbie Barrett, I mean, he would crush it.
You heard it here yesterday, right? Like,
well, he's coming back to NFC Lisbon, and he was in and around the Paris conference. Like he was in town, and I know he's, I don't know, maybe anti-establishment, anti-NFTs, but I mean, he would be huge if he came back into this space.
I was looking. So yesterday, after sharing on the screen, I went on his Super to look at some of his work, and I was just like, wow, like some of them are so different from the other ones. I know a lot of them look like, we call them the slab of meats, right? But
you see the most recent work. I'll send a picture of it in the group chat. It's really cool. It's actually really cool. And maybe you can compare it. But he does like he's doing like skulls. It's like AI.
Robbie Barrett.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's doing I think maybe if you go onto his
someone just said there were photos of Robbie at NFT Paris. Yeah, that's what I guess Mando was just saying. Like he's been seen around, and yesterday John Karp was on our stage talking about NFC Lisbon, of course, and talking about how Robbie's going to be there and speaking. Apparently per John Karp, like he's been like still experimenting and pushing the boundaries of AI forward. He's just not like an NFT aficionado, but you know, he's definitely been
I put it in the chat. He does like paintings over the AI drawings, basically. But
oh wow, that's really cool. I can't really screen share that because they don't show the chat and stuff, but we can post them after or something, or I'll find a link to it. But this is really cool. I mean, you kind of could have seen this coming, right? Like we've been talking about, I mean, the timeline's been about all over AI for the last few months. And I think it's just catching on to like normies in a way. I like how on Twitter, especially in this space and NFT crypto, like it feels like you're at the forefront of things. Like you see things happening before they actually hit. Like the other day, it was my girlfriend coming to me. It's like saying, "Oh my God, have you heard of this thing called DALL-E? Look how awesome it is." And it made me smile and laugh because I was like, babe, like DALL-E's been like forefront of our conversations for like months now in the space. And like, it's been a lot of like debate about this and back and forth. And I'm like, you know, Claire, cause she knows Claire. I was like showing her Claire stuff and a bunch of other people. And that's when I was like, wow, like, you know, it's starting to hit that mainstream level. And now with the Louvre, it's like, you know, it's like full mainstream art adoption here. So it's you could have seen it coming a mile away. Whoever had like the early braindrops drop from Claire, congratulations. But yeah, it's super cool. Right now on YouTube, if you're watching our stream, I'm just going through Videodrome, which is Robbie Barrett, who we're talking about, and some of the most iconic pieces of art ever minted when you think about it, right? I don't know what the last sale was.
They are the first pieces of AI art on chain.
Yeah. Ever. And it's pretty wild. And
I mean, they're the first piece of art on chain, but they're definitely some of the first pieces of AI art.
This one.
It's definitely the first AI art, yeah.
Look at this one. I mean, it's crazy how different some look, right? And I love the history behind it about how like they were lost and some people found them. We should really try and get Robbie on the show.
He hates
He hates anything to do with speculation and trading, which is basically.
But you guys are collectors. You guys are collectors of his. Like,
remember when KBM bought a piece of his and they had this like big Twitter argument, like.
Really?
And then KBM was like, okay, yeah, seriously, like find it. It's hilarious.
I had no idea about this. This is crazy. Yeah. But anyways, so what else is going on in space? It seems like we've seen retracements across the board, right? Birds are almost under 6. Doodles are almost under 5. There was a lot of back and forth between Zaid, Kurtzay, Jay Roughhouse, and CloneX directly yesterday. He was going back and forth with them.
That made me laugh, actually. Deeja's comment. I forget.
Where?
I think he replied, "Oh, bro, we got the self-tying laces," which I really laughed at. But
we did. And so there's that going on. So that's not too great on the community level side. And so aside, honestly, there was this incredible thread yesterday. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but someone made this like huge thread about Jack Butcher and like everything going on in the checks ecosystem. And like, to me, like right now, you know, we were talking about fun the other day. I think it was on Monday's show. Like, we know there's not that much going on, but look over there, like things are still popping, like with Opepin and the VV checks, like the originals and whatnot. So there's a lot of stuff happening there. VFriends, today was the airdrop for the tickets for VCon. So all the VFriends, I believe, got an airdrop of their VCon tickets, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it was like last year, I believe, where like everybody gets it, and then yeah, there it goes. VFriends holder, check your wallet. I'm just looking through the Lucky Trader thing here, and it says the ticket is required for admission into VCon 2023, which kicks off on May 18th in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're gonna have to Google that where it's on the map as well, by the way, boys. But and so a little bit over 10,000 VCon tickets NFTs were airdropped to VFriends holders last night. So it's already done over 7 ETH in trading. And so like last time, that's going down. There's some speculation around who the artist behind the tickets are this time around. So let me try and find the tickets to see if we can try and take a guess. Looking at that, but yeah, that was the big news. Like, again, there's no big news in terms of like big trades or like big movements on floor prices or big things like that. It's mostly like big things happening right now in the art world, which is super cool. We love to see that. Like, I've been seeing a lot of like positive feedback about the show these recent days, and people are super happy. That's all about art, and we love to see that. And some more news like that, like on that front. So there's speculation here that this could be X. I don't know. Does that give you guys X copy vibes? I mean,
Yeah.
Not really. No, I would
Really?
say no.
really,
It kind of reminds me of his breaking news piece. You know, the one he did with
this does give me
Electric Method.
XCOPY vibes. That's the speculation. That's the word on the street. And I know nothing, so please don't go speculate on these tickets based on the show. But like, and buy a ticket.
Why does it say admit one? Is that's not
Yeah.
admit one?
It's an admit one for like a ticket. Like,
Okay, cool.
person.
You see where it says ticket loading and stuff? Like, I don't think.
I see. Here, there.
That's
You see how
not
it just appeared? Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty cool ticket. Not gonna lie. Last year was with Snowfro. This year we'll see. I mean, dude, think about it. Last year he did it with Snowfro, right? He has to go for someone bigger this year. There's not many people bigger than Snowfro in the art world.
That's
what I'm
fair.
saying.
That is fair.
If that is an XCOPY ticket, that would be gangster. I mean, yesterday when John Carp told us that the ticket was a collab between XCOPY and another artist, I almost went and bought one just to be able to say I have an edition of 1200 that's an XCOPY. Like, because it was like $60. And yeah, I know it has zero utility. It's not getting me into more events, but I don't know. Something cool about these tickets. Like I collected a ticket once from an online event that Basilius threw, but the ticket was made by a lot of money. Recipes. And so I thought it was really cool to have the ticket that he designed.
Cool.
Like something about it. Like, even today, like my friend Buster, he collects like these like stubs from like old baseball games. Like, let's say like Derek Jeter's first like home run type thing, or like, I don't know, like these crazy like basketball NBA games. Cause like those are some of the hardest collectibles physical to have, because tickets are usually mistreated. Like you toss them in the trash or you like crumple them in your pocket. You don't give a fuck. But very few of them are in high condition. And so they're actually a pretty scarce asset for certain games. And there's a secondary market for that in the physical collectible world. So like, I kind of like the idea of like collecting tickets in the digital world made by like large, big artists. That makes sense?
Like stubs.
Like stubs. Like stubs. By the way, Mando, I mean, when stubs?
When stubs.
When
Stubs.
Ask Seth.
Ask Seth. Oh, Seth, when stubs?
When stubs, guys, I don't know. You tell me when stubs. Or do I tell you when stubs? I don't know.
You better tell us.
Stubs soon. Still pinned at the top. Don't worry, we're not writing stubs. we're definitely doing stubs, and the lineup that Katie's worked on all the way for the next few months is pretty sick. And there is a form that we're about to put out shortly for more people to be onboarded. But it's a really good mix of artists, all sorts of artwork, and it's different, right? Because the way it's harder to like curate a collection like this is like, you've already collected 6529 memes. You've collected a lot of fakes, like you, meaning like the audience. Like you've collected a lot of different like Babylon. We do a little like this stuff. Like there's a lot of people that did art drops, and we're trying to like find artists that haven't necessarily done art drops as well, and different ones. So it's just fun. Like it's gonna be really cool. Look at the chat. Can I get some When Stubbs Mando in the chat, please? When Stubbs Mando. Make sure you say Mando in the chat, please. But it's awesome. I love seeing the YouTube numbers up. I love seeing people on Twitter out here with us. But anyways, let's segue into the other thing that's happening today in the NFT space. I didn't want to make it like just a quick 2-minute thing at the beginning of this. I think this is a really cool drop. Speaking of like collecting, something I love doing on top of collecting this like kind of like ticket type of thing, one of my personal favorite things to collect is edition work. And I love it when, I don't know, who has background noise? One of you two have like extreme background noise. Ovi's smiling. I love that. I love Ovi's
I'm
little.
sitting in an empty room.
So am I.
I love Ovi's little like smirk every time he's about to take a shot at Mando, and I love the chat right now on YouTube. When Stubbs, man. By the way, if you're on Twitter Spaces, you want to get the full YouTube experience, definitely join us out here on YouTube to watch this video. But anyways, I'm gonna go to next person here, which is actually okay. We're gonna settle this debate: Iona or Iona?
It's Iona. It's Iona.
Okay. Well, I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry for getting your name wrong.
You don't have to apologize. I mean, she literally did that to you for about 30 seconds right after the video.
I don't have to apologize.
Right, no. Let's chill out there.
Coming from the person who called me Ferrero Rocher.
I know. I wanted to. Well, it's not as bad as Ovi's. On Ovi's filming, I called him ovary, and then I called him fallopian tube, but that part didn't make the cut. So that's the. that's what really went down. That's what really went down.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I mean, Iona, talk to us, and I'm so glad we have Camilla back-to-back shows with us today. I love that. But talk to us, and I'm sharing it on the video screen for those of you who are curious about this. Talk to us about Mint for Change, and you know, obviously how important it is on a day like today, and talk to us more about the drop, the artist, and you know what it takes for people to partake in this.
Yeah, cool. So for those who don't know, it's International Women's Day, which you know, every day should be a day to celebrate women, but on this day we like to take a pause, we like to reflect, we like to really, you know, think about the lovely women in Web3. And I'm so excited about the drop that we're doing today called Mint for Change that I could barely sleep a wink last night, let me tell you. So yesterday we did like a very intimate early access sale with like just a select group of collectors and artists. So today is the public sale at 5 p.m. GMT, which I think is 12 Eastern, I think.
Yeah, right at the show, right at the end of the show, it's like 50 minutes.
Nice, beautiful. And yeah, so basically the link to the collection page is in a pinned tweet in the spaces. I'm on Twitter, so that's it's in a pinned little tweet here. And it's 0.08 for pieces that usually average at around 3 ETH. So like, you know, it's not a bad return on investment, you know what I'm saying? And 50% of proceeds are going to ActionAid, which is an international charity. Me and my team had a call with ActionAid the other day because they were like, why are so many Web3 people spamming our DMs, like saying, like asking us what ActionAid is? So they're very, very, yeah. They're very excited that we've given them a new audience, albeit slightly annoying to them. RIP their notifications, but yeah, it's a blind mint. So we wanted to ensure that whatever you're given is going to be something like aesthetically interesting and also with market value. But we've got a mix of emerging artists and established names. And all of these artists were handpicked by me and my team for their past success in sales and also just the positivity they contribute to the space. So like we have a group chat with them and it's like the best vibes ever. I'm sure hopefully Camilla thinks that. Maybe I'm just fully lying. But yeah, I was editing the metadata over the weekend and like I was just so shocked at how incredible some of these works were. There's not a theme, so it's not like you're going to get a piece that is related to women or is related to femininity or anything like that. It was all up to the artist. We wanted to give them as much freedom as possible. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. I don't know, Camilla, if you have any wise words about your experience with it, whether you liked it, whether I was the worst like curator ever, that would be.
You can be honest about. You can be very honest and blunt about Iona, Camilla. This is a safe space.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, Iona, this was shit, and I just came here to just dump on you, and yeah.
Okay, great. That's enough from Camilla. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much.
I love Camilla.
I love Camilla. Your piece. I'm sharing your piece on the YouTube stream right now. You know we're fans of your art here, all three of us already, but talk to us more about, I guess, the experience of working on Mint for Change and maybe your work, because it's so cool.
Sure. First of all, happy Women's Day to all the girls listening and to all the girls out there grinding all day, every day. And thank you for bringing me up here. So yeah, it's a real honor to be part of this collab with FAIR and to be able to support this cause. And to just elevate women in this space and also outside of it, because the profits are going to a charity to support women. And what I've been noticing is that more and more women are like gaining the confidence to share their art. And maybe men don't notice this among them. But yeah, some women are like really, I don't know, they don't have the self-esteem to just share what they create. But this is changing, and that makes me super happy and positive that we are going in the right direction, you know. So yeah, I have more women appearing in my feed, and that makes me happy. It's also a great honor to collab with such talented female artists. And I know this is going to be a blind mint, but in the drop page, you can already preview some of the pieces, not all, but some, and they are all amazing. So even if you are not going to mint nothing, I think it's worth for you to just go check it out. Yeah. And about my piece, it is not only one Farouk. You are seeing one in the preview page, but I will drop 4.
Oh.
And yeah.
Sick.
So for this collection, I decided to just celebrate my path as an artist and share share it with the world finally. So I went through my archive and selected 4 pieces, all done in different stages of my career, and all like holding a different story. They were created in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Yeah, and that's why like all of them have their creation year in the description alongside a little poem just to contextualize them. And my goal was for you to collect a bit of my history as an artist and to share with you where I've come from and how I evolved to the artist I am today. I think it's important for artists to show their path and how they got better as the years gone by, you know. So yeah, I decided to do that now. And I think this is going to be a super fun drop because of the blind mint dynamics, and because 50% of the profits are going to charity. So besides you collecting some cool art for a really affordable price, you are also helping a good cause. And yeah, I think that's why it's this is like an amazing thing that the Web3 space allows us to do, and that we are just taking advantage of. So yeah, I hope you go check it out, and thank you very much for this airtime for Oak and Josef and Mando and all the team. And yeah, happy Women's Day to everybody.
I love that. We're a big fan. So now that you tell me there's 4 artworks of yours in there, I cannot. Can this drop already happen, please, so I can go have fun on secondary and report back tomorrow morning? It's super cool. I mean, I saw. Okay, you're here. I couldn't see you for a second anymore. Parin. I mean, I am also sharing, I guess, one of your works here. Maybe you have more. I guess I'm not sure. But Parin, also join us on stage. I mean, you goes out saying, "I already know I'm a huge fan of you and your work." But Parin, welcome. Good morning. Maybe you want to talk about, what this mint means to you, and maybe your work in there.
Sure, GM. Happy
GM.
Women's Day to all the ladies here and all women's in the world. This drop has been one of the best drops that I've been a part of because in the past 2 years, I have to mention that. Because first of all, I love the team, Iona. Sorry, hi. And I just loved being a part of the drop because of the energy around it, because of all the great artists, the chat that we have, and then when I saw the pieces, I was like blown away. All of them are just incredible, and I have also 3 pieces there that all of them are actually one of the first pieces that I started writing in Farsi after like 14 years on my pieces, because that's obviously my language, Iranian, Persian, Farsi. And
Hell yeah.
I was so moved by the women of Iran, because in the past like 6-7 months, the whole world, maybe for the first time, have noticed what is going on in Iran and in that region. And today is Women's Day, and that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about it. We're celebrating women, and women in history have done a lot. Women are doing a lot in our lives. And by what is happening right now, it's like the first revolution led by women happening there. And I am so moved by their power, strength, bravery. I'm just learning every day. I'm Iranian, so proud to be Iranian, and also so proud to see what is happening there. Although it's extremely sad, although it's like we're losing a lot of people, but also it's a very important part of the history now, in my opinion. So my pieces are all about what is happening back there, and I just wanted to bring some awareness as well. Because now in the NFT space, we are so close to each other. We have this opportunity of not having any border anymore. And we can talk about like real things that matter in the world. So I wanted to thank Fair.xyz to curate such an incredible piece, and to allow me as well to share my pieces there, to just bring this awareness and just to be a part of this great drop. Just wanted to thank everyone.
Wow, that is powerful. I figured you wrote in Farsi on that piece. Wow, it's very, very powerful. And it's true. I mean, the revolution over there that's still undergoing, is pretty much fully women led, which came out of the women life freedom, saying, or whatever you want to call that. But it's very powerful to see that, and we've seen women around the world take it to the streets to raise awareness around that. That was why you saw women around the world cutting their hair and whatnot. And I think but the power in that revolution, what's happened in Iran, and obviously was following, and also I'm still following pretty closely, is because it was actually led by women. Actually, one of the women at the forefront of it all outside of Iran has been Mahsa Amini, right? No, sorry, not Mahsa Amini. So I'm sorry. It's Mahsa Ali. I'm butchering the name.
Masih Ali Nejad.
Masih Ali Nejad, who's been leading the charge outside of Iran, went as far as being the French president and whatnot, and make it to the USA here. So it's really it's been pretty powerful, Parin. Wow, you got me in a tangent here, but it's it touches pretty close to home when you talk about that. Not gonna lie, I'm sweating. Okay, we're on video too. I'm sweating. Mando, Ovi, help me over here. She's got me all my feelings and shit. But it's a beautiful job. Definitely want to thank Fair for putting this together. I know we're partners and you guys are title sponsors of this, but I didn't want to make this just a quick little title sponsor intro type shit at the beginning of the show. Because this is much more important, much more powerful, and I'm loving the chat also on YouTube. I know you guys can't see this, but Parin is so talented. GM Parin, the Sarah's Script supporting people out there. Waz is saying, every day is happy only because you're loved and appreciated by women in your life. So we take this day to give back to all the women in our life. Happy Women's Day. World would not have been beautiful without you all. So that's from Waz, and a bunch of cool positive messages out there on the YouTube as well. So you absolutely love to see that. Big shout out to Fair for putting this together. Obviously, we appreciate you guys. So collection sizes, I just realized it's just 1,000 pieces. I'm sharing on the screen, of course, but 1150. Sorry, limit of 5 per wallet, and it's going to be a 0.08 ETH per artwork, and again a blind mint. So wow, this is so hype. I'm gonna be ready at noon. I don't care if we're still on the show. I'm ready. Those fingers are ready. The wallet is ready. And Iona, definitely want to give you the mic one last time. Maybe ask. I don't know if you had any closing words here with regards to the mint for change.
Yeah, so actually, the 5 minutes per wallet was for the early access people. So that was just to stop anyone from like whaling in. And then the public sale, there's actually no limit on how many you can mint. So you can really go all out if you want. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Haven't decided yet. I probably will. No, I probably shouldn't do that. Anyway. No, I just want to say like huge thank you for letting me, trusting me to speak on your show. I know that I shit on you guys while you talk usually in our group chat. So thanks for trusting me with this. And no, seriously, like on a very serious note, and usually I'm not serious to you guys. Usually like I do just shit on you. Thanks for being great allies. Honestly, I think at events, like whenever I see Farouk, Ovi, or Mando, I always head for you guys, and I always feel very safe when you're around. So, it's tough being a woman in Web3. I won't sugarcoat that. So thank you for being great allies, guys.
Well, we appreciate you.
That was recorded, right? Like that's the first nice thing Iona's ever said to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. We got Iona on camera, on video, on audio recording, ever, on YouTube. We're gonna clip that. We got Iona giving us flowers. Wow.
No, I gave you a friendship bracelet for
you did.
And Mando. Like, come on.
Ovi didn't get one. Oh, Mando, we can't hear you.
Ovi's in the post. I'll walk down the street and give it to you because we live on the same street.
I don't need the petty friendship bracelets. That's fine.
No, don't cry me, River. Don't cry me, River. I'll walk it over later.
Mando, you muted, by the way. I know you're trying to say something.
No, I was saying thank you. I think this is really cool. I'm just saying thank you. I think this is really cool.
I think you wiped out Farouk.
Whoa. Gosh. Oh my God. What happened here?
I'm going to have to throw away this mic now. Like, what is this?
I mean, you have a Shure MV7. That's even better than the SM7B that most people have. So you have like the Rolls Royce of Shures. And it's still in some troubles. I don't know. Maybe it's Portugal. Sorry, Camilla. But
I'm not going to comment.
Some things just don't go hand in hand, and two of those things are Mando and tech. So
Yeah, it is. That is true. You know, that is.
I think it's just luck. You know, like you could present me with all the same cables, the same mic, the same roadcaster, and somehow this happens to me. Like we've bought all the same stuff.
Oh my god, it's true. We did
It's
buy
got
all
to
the
the point
same.
where I actually feel bad for you. Like there are times when just like inexplicably something just doesn't work.
You know, sometimes Ovi and I don't want to tell you that there's mic issues just because we feel so bad that we tell you all the time. And I don't want you to think we're picking on you. It's actually true. Like there's sometimes the mic bugs, but at this stage, I don't want to be the guy. So we'll let Golden do it. Golden, you know what? You produce this thing. You're gonna be the guy. You're the bearer of bad news from here forward. You're the bad guy. Okay.
I got you. I will call it out when I see it and hear it. Let's go.
Thank you. You know, Golden who comes out of the aquarium half the time as well. We're looking good on Jam Web 3 on Rug Radio. But just like,
I'm in this group chat with Michael, my wife, and his wife. And Michael's wife just put this message in saying, "Hearing every day Michael saying, 'Can you hear me? I can hear you. My mic isn't working. I'm waiting on a cable. It just kills me.'"
Even she knows.
I can't. She says I can't anymore.
Oh my god. Yo, even the wife.
It's tough in the Anderson household.
Oh my god. The Anderson house. You know what Mando's wife is gonna buy him for like his birthday or Christmas, whatever comes first next. It's gonna be a new mic and new everything. And it's still not gonna work.
I'm the classic like all the gear but no idea sort of guy. Like I bought a full-on camera, cable, everything, and I don't have the right cable for it.
Wait.
It wasn't working.
What is that? You bought a what is that?
Just don't even start.
So Mando just showed us, and it's true. He bought like the top of the line, like Sony, like I don't know what, Alpha, Beta, Zeta, 3250, like XYZ, like dot whatever. Like he's got the camera, but he forgot the cable.
Apparently now the power cable doesn't work for it, so I need to get a different power cable. You just know that it's just not going to work when I get it set up as well.
Oh my god, this is funny, but it's like an everlasting rug on this show, and there's some beauty to it. You know, it adds to the meme, it adds to the lore and the story of the morning show. So we'll get there, perhaps by 2025, perhaps by the next bull run. You know, we'll have this whole thing set up. It'll be just in time, right? There's gonna be more people coming in, anyways. But anyways, Iona, Camilla, Parin, love you all. Thank you so much for being incredible, strong, powerful women in the space. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you for the art that you continue to create that really empowers your peers and everybody around you. And thank you for being pioneers yourselves. You know, it's not like you're not just a pioneer for the women out there, but you're a pioneer for everybody out there in the space. Big fan of y'all.
Sure.
And I'm gonna have to do some. Go on.
I just said this is awesome, man. This is a really good drop. Amazing set of artists. It must take a long time to curate. Seems really well together.
Yeah, there's a lot. By the way, like I know we shared a screen, but like there's like 40 total, and there's only 17 works being shown there. But it's some of the names that a lot of you are just familiar with on the timeline. So it's cool to see that in every year, like even compared to last year, it gets bigger and bigger. So can't wait. Iona next year, you're gonna have to put a list of 100 people. And every year that's going to be the goal, 2.5 exit every time, and create a bigger and bigger job. And we'll be there to help, you know, as always. So I'm super excited for it. But anyways, I'm going to have to do some stage rotation on Twitter Spaces because we have the next crop of dope, powerful, awesome, I mean, incredibly talented artists coming up on the stage next. So if Lady Cactoid Labs, JenStark, Monica Rizzoli, Sarah Zucker, Emily G, and Ike Shells are in the audience, please do me a favor of requesting at the bottom left because that is a lot of people that I'm going to have to bring up. So I may have to do some road. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. There come all the requests. Oh, because we are limited on space on Twitter Spaces still.
You need me to step down. I can step down. Just
of course. Thank you, Ovi. But you won't need.
Be here really like
if anything, I'm gonna kick my second phone off stage, the Rug Radio account, before I kick you off because you're staying to the very end, motherfucker. Okay. And so
out there, guys.
We have Golden and we have Rug Radio. So you're staying on to the last bit, okay? And so because Golden's up here with us anyways. So hold on, let me bring everybody up here. We already got the first queue of requests that came up here. Let me go also pin what's going on the LACMA side, to the top of the space. Wow, there's so much happening right now in the space on the art side. I think it's the most fun we've had in a while in the space. But in the meantime, as I find the tweets to pin over here on the show, a big GM to Lady Cactoid. Good morning. How you doing?
GM, thank you so much for having us, Farouk. That is awesome.
I mean, thank you for coming on. It's not every day that we get to say that we are hosting a collaborative art release that is happening with the LACMA. I mean, I think everybody here at this stage on the morning show is familiar with the LACMA, which is a Los Angeles County Museum of Art. You've heard us talk about it first when Kazamo made his generous donation of the Zombie Punk and 21 other works of art to the LACMA, which was one of the biggest donations to date, I think. Probably the biggest, right? Yeah, it has to be bigger than the autoglyph and the punk. But it's massive and put a lot of really great artists up there. And now the LACMA is back. The LACMA is back with this release with some really, really awesome artists. So, I mean, Lady Cactoid, I suggest we go right into it as the other artists that are meant to come up. And by the way, request to speak if you're in the audience, please, from a cell phone. But Lady Cactoid, why don't I pass you the mic so that you can give us a quick introduction of yourself and of what this is about?
Yeah, hey. So I am Lady Cactoid. I am a co-founder of Cactoid Labs. We're an experimental blockchain consultancy that works to help museums bridge to Web3. And so I'm a curator. I've been working with LACMA and other museums in LA for years. And so my husband's a blockchain engineer. We run this lab, and LACMA invited us to help them embark on a blockchain initiative that's called Remembrance of Things Future. So a little background on LACMA is that LACMA has a really long history of art and technology. This isn't a new field for the museum. Basically, in the 60s, they had a very iconic program called the Art and Technology Program that started in 1967, and brought people like Andy Warhol and James Turrell and Robert Irwin together with technology companies like IBM and Bell Labs. So that program was rebooted 10 years ago and is now the Art and Technology Lab. The lab gives grants to artists. It's a really awesome program and basically helps fund very ambitious projects that really push at the boundaries of art and technology. So the lab has brought artists together with SpaceX to bring sculptures into orbit around Earth. They've brought artists together with the Jet Propulsion Laboratory here in Pasadena. And basically, the museum has been collecting works on chain for a while now. And then, as you mentioned, there was this very momentous gift by Cosimo a few weeks ago. So basically, what the museum hopes to do is one day be able to tell a representative story of what's happening in this digital renaissance that we're all living through. This initiative, Remembrance of Things Future, is an invitation to artists to basically explore the museum's permanent collection. So it's a permanent collection that actually goes back, thousands of years. It's encyclopedic, meaning it's not just modern and contemporary art. So the 5 artists that we are embarking on this journey with are JenStark, Sarah Zucker, Monica Rizzoli, Emily Shia, and Ayak Shells. And they've all selected objects in LACMA's collection to make new digital editions with. We are releasing this today in phases. So there are some full sets reserved to early supporters of the project. And it basically starts at 2 p.m. today and goes into tomorrow. The full schedule is something I'm going to post imminently and is in our Discord. But I'd love the artists to have a chance to speak with you, Farouk. I mean, there's a lot happening with museums. As you mentioned, the Louvre just announced this collaboration with Claire. the Centre Pompidou just acquired work. So I think it's a very exciting time for NFTs really entering the canon of art history.
Absolutely. I mean, it is such, talk about timing, right? And it's actually incredible. We've talked about that a lot on here, and we cover every time because it's so important, and it's just beautiful to see it finally happening. Right? It's like we're early. It's gonna happen. And here we are. It's like our own friends that are up there. And I'm gonna try not to fanboy here, Ovi and Mando. It's gonna be really tough because I have a lot of my favorite artists coming up today. But Sarah Zucker, I mean, holy shit. I don't think we've got to interview Sarah Zucker yet. It would be an honor, but here we are also with this Sarah show. So that is Sarah Zucker. I mean, welcome to Good Morning. Welcome. And here I am losing my train of thought, fanboying over an artist I've been, whose art I've been, dreaming of one day collecting for a minute. How you doing? And welcome to the stage.
GM, thank you. My goodness, what an introduction. So nice to be with all of you. And thank you, Lady Cactoid, for giving such a wonderful description and context for everything we're doing here. It's a really exciting moment to be an artist working with NFTs. I started doing this in early 2019, and back then it was like no one really knew what we were doing. We were a bunch of like weirdos playing with this thing. Like no one was really looking at us. And I'm sure any of you listening here today know that like I often use the analogy of like it's like when a kid like lifts up a rock and the sun shines on all the little like bugs scattering about. Like that's what happened in 2021. It was intense. It was exciting. And I think I've known since then that like, if you can just kind of hold on to this dragon as it flies through the air at like breathtaking speed, that at some point they're going to stop treating us like punk kids smoking behind the gym, and they're going to start treating us like, like the visionary artists that we are. So I'm an Angelino myself, so getting to work with LACMA is like huge for me. It's my museum. It's a big deal, and I've created a work that you guys can see. It's my pinned tweet. It's called Two Answers. It's in dialogue with this piece in the LACMA collection. LACMA has this amazing collection of German expressionist artwork. If you're not familiar with that style, check it out. It is so potent. It is so dank. Like it's from about 100 years ago. Germany 100 years ago, there was some scary shit going on. And the artists of that time were channeling these like breathtakingly emotional and just heightened work that I think people today would really resonate with. And I really resonate with it. I consider my work to be, at least a certain strain of my work, to be within the vein of expressionism. So my piece, Two Answers, is it's psychedelic art, it's psychedelic expressionism. And to get to do what I do, these visions I channel in collaboration with a museum like LACMA it's just a really important moment for me, and I'm stoked to be here. I'm stoked to share it with all of you.
It's awesome. I'm sharing it because we're also on YouTube stream, and I'm actually going through your pinned tweet and sharing what you wrote with everyone on there as well. I think it's so cool. First of all, thank you for introducing us to German expressionism. I didn't know about it until now, and I love that. I love that the LACMA is asking you all to like give your own take on artwork that's already there, but you're mixing it with your own touch, right, and adding to it. I think this is pretty cool. I have a quick question for you, Sarah, because I was also sharing, of course, your super rare to the screen, and I mean you're quite the OG. You've been minting artwork on super since what, 2019? You said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So you've been at it for a while. Looking then, did you expect being part of a museum collection so soon after starting minting on chain? Because I know we always say we're early and that we have a long time horizon, but like we're just 2023, so you're about a few years in, and this happenings today. So just wondering, like, how you feel about this just happening already, and museums really entering the space.
That is such a great question. The answer to that is yes. I saw this happening, definitely. And I mean, that is what, for me as someone, I've worked in primarily digital art for a little over a decade at this point. I was originally a still photographer. And when I moved into digital and screen-based art, I kind of knew that it was this choice to work with something the world doesn't really understand or embrace yet. At least certainly back then they didn't. And part of why it's a harder path is that there's no object, right? If you're a sculptor or a painter, you're making an object that you can sell to someone, sell to a collector. And so for me, moving into digital art, I think a lot of people were like, are you sure? Like, what are you going to do with that? The option back then was really make gifts for, Tostitos and hope that you can keep your lights on. And I did that. I did a lot of commercial work. I used Tumblr a lot. So I had a little thing going on Tumblr, and I had, so I was doing agency, doing commercial work, making what they like to call back then user generated content, because I was technically a user of the platform, which was just kind of their way of saying, make it look like it wasn't made by, by a commercial agency. And so I'm digressing. It's to say that I kind of always have had this vision in my mind's eye of, I know the work I do is potent. I know that the work I do and the work of my peers is going to be the defining visual mode of our time. I actually spoke with the Creators Project all the way back in 2014 for an article that they ended up calling "The Future of Gifts as Gallery Art." And I talked about at that time, this emerging stuff with blockchain. I wasn't experimenting with it myself yet, but there was a lot of there were people kind of chattering about it in the different media art circles I was in, of how blockchain could end up providing an edition technology for us as digital artists. And so, a bit oracular of me there, I guess, that it was this is literally going to be my destiny. And so in early 2019, that's to get to your question. This all happened so much crazy faster than I pictured it would. And I really think the answer of why it happened so fast is quite simple. There was this little thing called COVID. You guys may have heard of it.
Very little.
Yeah, you might have heard of it.
Happened ages ago.
Yeah, exactly. Ancient history now. Ancient history. Yeah. We all sort of wish. That was the piece I couldn't have predicted. That certainly, I wouldn't have predicted it in my worst nightmares. And yet, for as shitty as that was to live through that, that happened. March of 2020, I had been minting my work for about a year at that point. And that was when I noticed a shift. March of 2020, that first year I was minting my work, I've talked to Matt Kane, Xcopy, all these guys have kind of shared this similar experience of we just didn't have the people in. We didn't have the people in it in that earlier phase. It was a much smaller cohort of people, and we've all kind of shared a sense. I've heard other artists share this sense of once everyone had to go inside and go online, it shifted, and I certainly noticed a lot more interest in what I was doing. And it kind of just snowballed through all of 2020. And I really remember by the end of 2020 thinking, oh, whoa, there are way more people here than there used to be. And something is going on. And so, it kind of ramped up to that big moment. Then March of 2021, only 1 year later, the whole world blew open. And here we are now working with a museum.
Yeah, that's That's a solid answer. I love how you took us down memory lane and give us like the history of how it all started for you, and then all the way to a moment like this. So this is awesome. This is super cool. We pinned that at the top, by the way. I know it's pinned on Sarah's Twitter, but if you're curious about what the piece that Sarah was talking about, Jazz went ahead and pinned it at the top. It's called Two Answers. I love that. This is trippy. I also got lost like while you were talking. Like we were looking at every single super rare piece of yours on video.
I love that. That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's trippy. I love that stuff. I can definitely relate to the Tumblr days. I started off in Tumblr over 10 years ago. So I definitely relate to the whole Tumblr vibes and Tumblr days behind this. Oh, there's Jen. I was trying to get to Jen next, but I guess Jen got rugged. Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help much. Oh, there she's back. And by the way, if we have, I think it's Emily G and there's IX Shells also. I don't know if you're in the audience. Just request to speak so that I can bring y'all up so you can talk about your work. Also, Monica Rizzoli, if you're in there. But I do definitely want to go to my great friend over here, JenStark, who continues fam, how many dubs? It's just win after win. It's crazy. I go to Miami Airport, JenStark's work out there. You go to New York and whatever in a corner street, JenStark's out there. You go to whatever. Now it's LACMA, and then I say, you want LACMA on the show? I look at the lineup, JenStark on the lineup. I mean, it's crazy. I walk around LA, JenStark on the walls. It's just crazy. It's dub after dark. JenStark, good morning. How you doing, Queen?
GM King, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, what an introduction. It's a psychedelic takeover, I'm dripping psychedelics all over the world.
I mean, between you and Sarah over here, I am definitely tripping at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's even early for y'all, but between the both of y'all, I'm definitely like getting lost in the sauce with this work. I mean, Jen, talk to us about your collaboration here with the LACMA and talk to us about your piece of work. I mean, this is super cool.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having us up here. Lady Cactoid Labs, they're the ones that made this all happen. It was months ago they asked us to be part of this, and they mentioned LACMA, and every artist knows what LACMA is. It's like this huge institution that it's just like has the best art collection. I live in LA, so I've been multiple times. So it was a dream and an honor to just, be associated with them, do an initiative with them. And yeah, and I love that in the NFT space, there's not lots of galleries that are doing stuff. There's just like a few galleries here and there. Most of the art world doesn't really pay attention to the NFT. Museums and institutions are actually looking at this movement, like what Lady Cactoid said, the digital renaissance. It's like this new avenue of art history that's happening right now, and these big museums are watching, and I think that's really, really cool. They're just like on the pulse of it. So yeah, for this whole initiative, the artists were able to look through the permanent collection of LACMA, and we kind of got inspired by a specific artwork, and I chose a quilt from like the 1800s, and that resonated with me because my great grandma used to quilt. She would do like these hand threaded, just like super intricate, almost psychedelic quilts. And yeah, I just wanted to bring it back to that, the handmade versus the digital. Also in college, I was a fibers major. I studied textiles, which is crazy because I don't really work with fabrics at all. I just love the meditative quality, the kind of like just dive in, hypnotic, doing a repetitive motion over and over. I love that about textiles and like sewing and quilting. So yeah, I chose this piece, a quilt, and I wanted it to reflect the like muted colors, the geometric kind of like playing tricks with your eyes. And yeah, I'm just stoked to be alongside Sarah, Monica, Emily, Shia, and Itzel. It's like, what a dream to be up here with with these women just showing our work. So yeah, happy to be here.
Hell yeah. That is pretty powerful. And I love that you tied it back to you said your great grandmother.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm sharing on the stream on video the tweet that you pinned, just like Sarah, with regards to the work that it started off with. It's funny, it's giving me big JenStark vibes, the original piece as well. So it's just not as colorful. So you definitely picked one, and you really made it like 3.0 yeah, over here. This is super cool. So it's a quilt from a log cabin, United States, Pennsylvania, circa 1865. And it's got all these, like, the geometry vibes, just like yourself, and you kind of like give your own, like, twist to it. I think this is super fun. And I guess, I mean, Jen, kind of talk to you about what's happening right now with regards to, like, generative artists and just like artists, that operate within crypto, that making it to museums and whatnot. Like, where do you see this going? And what are your general thoughts here? Of course, the big news this week was about Claire de Louvre, and I'm sure this is only the beginning. And now there's the LACMA that made the headlines a few weeks back, and now again this week, with the incredible lineup going on. But just kind of wanted to hear your, like, general thoughts on everything going on here.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, of course, I'm loving it. I love that these institutions are looking at us, and, like, they're opening their eyes to realizing that some movement is happening, and these artists are paving the way. And that's what I think about NFT artists. I was both in the fine world for, like, many years. I did digital work, but as a digital artist, I never really sold that kind of work. I would only sell my paintings and sculptures, and I think it's really cool that these artists, for years, like Sarah was saying, they didn't really get the attention that they deserved. And now, like, I feel like so many art movements before it, the artists in the movement were the underdogs, and now they're just, like, getting all the shine and attention. And I think it's really cool. I mean, I'm stoked to be part of this museum initiative, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. So let's see.
Hell yeah. This is super, super cool. I love this. I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling. Again, you guys, both you and Sarah has, like, this work that makes you, like, just, like, stare. So I'm just, like, staring. People on YouTube must think I'm crazy. But I think I've hypnotized the 50 live listeners that we also have on there. I think everybody's just fully hypnotized about this. What else? I mean, I kind of want to go back to Lady Cactoid here. Maybe if you want to talk to us more about, like, the details that entails, like, if people, like, obviously, like, we've got to hear from Sarah and Jen now, and obviously I'd love to hear the excitement and behind this, and how clearly, like, this is a collaboration that's worked pretty well, right? With regards to museum, respecting the artists and letting the artists kind of do their thing. And I love how clearly you're having a lot of fun with it. But Lady Cactoid, kind of wanted to get your kind of, if you want to tell our audience, like, where, when's, the usual stuff, like, so that they can pay attention and make sure that those who want to partake in this drop can make sure they partake in it.
Yes, awesome. And I just want to quickly speak to Monica and IX Shells and Emily, whose work I have pinned to the top, because they've all done really, really just, I think, very historic interpretations of works in LACMA's collection. So, like, Monica has been looking at these very iconic woodblock prints by the Japanese printmaker Hokusai, which she has selected one output from her algorithm to be the piece for this edition of 100. But then in a few weeks, we are doing the fully long form generative release. So it will all be, randomly generated outputs from that same algorithm. So you can stay tuned for that. And I also, before I go into the details, just, yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking really at the work again. Sorry, I didn't know I was unmuted. Go on.
No, yeah, I love it too. It's like, I mean, it makes me, it makes me see Hokusai's work in a new light. Cause, I mean, I've been looking at Hokusai for a very long time. So But I wanted to mention one more thing is that at LACMA, there's an exhibition up right now that runs through July 2nd that this initiative that we're all part of here is in dialogue with, and that is called Coded: Art Enters the Computer Age, 1952 to 1982, which if anyone is in LA, it runs through July 2nd. It's basically a really groundbreaking reappraisal of early computer art. So it features pioneers like Manfred Moore and Vera Molnar and Frieder Naka, and puts that into dialogue with conceptualism, minimalism, people like Saul LeWitt and Donald Judd. So I highly recommend you guys stopping by the LACMA if you are in town. And then also these 5 artists have works screening outdoors at LACMA on the Stark Bar screens, which are fortuitously named after or in sort of sync with Jen. But yes, so the dynamics of the release is that today at 2 p.m., the sale opens for early supporters of the project. Those are full sets. That sale closes at 11 a.m. PST. Everything I'm saying is PST because I'm in LA. So that sale closes at 11 a.m. PST tomorrow. And then a few hours later, basically 2 p.m. March 9th, tomorrow, the phase 1 mint opens. So all this information is in our Discord, and I just remind everyone to only use official links that are in our Discord. But that opens at 2 p.m. and then we go on to phase 2 a couple of hours after that. So yeah, and I think we were also talking with you about giving some Alala spots.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, how do you want to do that, Fro? Because we can generate a pre-mint link for you real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you have a sort of protocol for that?
Damn. I should have probably gotten with you with that before this, right? But definitely, if you want, you know what we'll do. If you want to generate a pre-mint link, and we'll put it in our Discord, like we usually do for our holders for the member giveaways, and we'll put it out there for them to be able to enter that.
Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah, we'll give it to you shortly, and then there will be some relatively short time window for people in the Discord to register. And then Cactoid, if you can hear me, is there a password that we need to give out now, or
I think it's on the YouTube stream. We can use that password.
We have a password for the rewards program at Rug Radio, which is LACMA today. LACMA. That's the code.
Oh, cool.
We do.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so
we're so original, right? We're so original with our codes. It's so tough to guess. That's our code. And then I see Camilla in there. Speaking of password, what's the code today? Today's the code is LACMA, LACMA. And I already see people saying they want to go check. LACMA is off Fairfax and Beverly. Hell yeah, LACMA is dope. You should definitely go check it out if you're in LA. It's a really cool place. That's where a lot of people take their Instagram pictures, all those lights. So you've probably seen the LACMA, whether you know it or not. You've seen the LACMA on Instagram. But Lady Cacto, what we're going to do is in the back end, we'll do the connections and whatnot. And for our holders of our great NFTs, we have four spots for you to enter this. Can't wait to participate. I guess I have a lot of drops to participate in personally today between the Mint for Change and to support the Fair Initiative for International Women's Day, and then between this with LACMA and the incredible artists such as JenStark and Sarah Zucker, X-Shells, Monica Rizzoli, and Emily G. And it's super exciting. I gotta say, it's really, really cool. There's nothing more fun in this space than to actually collect art, work with artists. I say it to a lot of people often, like, if you want to really have fun in the NFT space, like, really get with artists and start getting into that culture and learning more from them, because they really lead the space in a beautiful way. You're seeing it this week. It's not much going on, but what's going on? It's all art. It's all this week, this show, every single morning. That's all we've been talking about, because that's everything happening. It's at the forefront of everything being pushed in the space, from the Louvre to LACMA and to incredible artists partaking in this. So I just want to give a big thank you to Lady Cactoid for reaching out and making this happen with us. It's really an honor to be able to host you all as special guest. So on behalf of all of us, Rug Radio, Gem Web3, big thank you, and definitely anything you need, we'll be here to support your initiatives. Sarah Zucker, an honor. We definitely need to run it back and do a special guest segment on you, because been a fan for a minute of your work. Rob Ness really put me onto you early. So definitely have been looking at the work for a while. Jen's the homie, of course. I mean, when do I get to see you and hug you next? I can't wait to see you again. But definitely always a proud collector in front of Jen's whenever I see Jen doing stuff like that. So all the other artists involved in this, congrats. It's really awesome. And yeah, I don't know if Jen or Sarah want to say any last things. Definitely want to give you guys the mic in case you had anything to add before we close up.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. This is awesome. I'm excited to see the launch tomorrow or today. And it's an edition of 500. So it's pretty small. So, try to jump in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. This was awesome, and it's a big day for all of us. So go team LACMA.
Hell yeah. Go team LACMA. Go team all of these incredible women that are leading the charge and at the forefront of this digital renaissance happening right before all your eyes, whether you're on YouTube, on Twitter, or anywhere else. Another time, big happy International Women's Day to everyone, to all the women that are listening to us every day. And again, a big shout out to the woman behind Rug Radio. Like, I can't go off on International Women's Day without giving them the kudos. Artemisia, Jess, who's her birthday on top of that today. Hell yeah. So Jess, who runs our rewards program, who runs our creator program, 67 creators, that it's all being ran by Jess, Artemisia. Big shout out to Jen. Big shout out to Hannah, who again, Hannah made this happen with Lady Cactoid today, right? So big shout out to Hannah, our partnerships lead, and big shout out also to Jen, our graphic designer, which all these designs you're seeing on YouTube, left, right, logos, whatnot, it's all Jen, So literally all of Rug Radio powered by incredible woman in the back end. So big shout out to all y'all, our hosts, our creators, the people we collaborate with, we work with, our holders, everyone. Big thank you to all of y'all for doing what you do every day. So it is important to highlight it on days like today. So I think it's cool what the chat was saying and what Iona was saying at the beginning. So anyways, with that closes another great show of Gem Web3 on Rug Radio. Cannot wait to see y'all tomorrow morning. Just quick note, today at 1 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, Rect Radio, right? Over, you guys have ice bags coming on the show.
Yeah, we have ice bags today. So tune in 1 p.m. Eastern time or 6 p.m. UK time.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a big one, especially after the fight that happened with John Jones over the weekend.
Yeah.
And in the forefront of that, you're gonna see that as well. And I think that's about. Oh no, we are Wednesday, so we do have the night show tonight, same time, same place, on YouTube and Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, with that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Gem Web3 on Rug Radio. Let's go.
And it's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. GM. On this beautiful day, good morning to Web3 with Faroco, Seth, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Rug Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Rug Radio.
Oh, and Mint for Change is open. All right, see you guys. Ciao, y'all. And broadcast. Hold on, stay on.